Hello, and thank you for listening to another episode of Slasher Scotty. My name is Scotty McCoy. I am your host, and I am also the author of the Ultimate Halloween Trivia book, and I am interviewing the cast of the Halloween franchise and other slasher and horror films. And I currently have on the phone with me Tom Proctor, and he played the Motorist in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, actually. So I have a couple questions to ask you. The first one isn't related to anything regarding Halloween. It's how did you get your start into acting?
I it's kind of funny. We run cattle up in the Okra Mountains there in Utah, and the location had actually uh, got their location wrong, and they were on the wrong side of the mountain, so to speak. And so we accidentally rode on to the first set, and they figured we was in wardrobe, but the AD thought we were actually part of the shoot. And they were having trouble trying to do a stampede, and they were having problems with their horses, and it was obvious that we could solve that problem right away, and so that was how it first started.
Oh, that's awesome. So how was Joe Chappelle as a director?
He was really amazing, knew exactly what he wanted, and and I had watched him give direction to so many people with one line, one
Right,
word. Can you do it like this? And he was
right,
really that way. And so when every time on every take of mine, he'd say, "Tom, perfect, no changes,
right.
no changes. Do that again."
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, "Wow, he either really, really likes my shit or thinks I suck so bad that I'm uh, not directable." And
Right,
and that's just something that goes through the
right.
actor's head, especially back in those days when I was just starting off. I was,
Yeah.
actors are not known for being real secure with their work.
Right, and I mean, sometimes one line of dialogue is very powerful with the way it's presented and spoken. So, I mean,
Hmm.
definitely, like I said, going back to your character in Halloween 6, like your one line of dialogue was just so powerful. It built up the suspense of Michael and him going after Jamie, and the whole, setting up the whole chase scene with the truck going towards the barn.
Hmm.
It was so powerful because you knew something was going to happen to you when it did happen. And then JC Brandy, who played Jamie, her performance was impeccable with the whole, with selling how you were just killed by him, and now she's like, oh crap, now I got to get out of here. So what was it like working with George P. Wilbur?
He's just a great guy, very common sense, wants everybody comfortable with
Right.
what he does. He just just really laid back and easy. One of the things, like when somebody's snapping your neck, the biggest risk there is that the actor will get carried away and snap too hard.
Right.
The correct way of doing that is the actor puts their hand on the victim's face and the victim snaps their own neck around.
Right.
And George Wilberg was really good about that, just taking the hands along for the ride, and
Right.
yet his facial reactions and everything were as such that it looks like he snapped the neck.
Exactly. So the last question I got for you is, do you have any future projects in the works that you'd like to promote?
I had the projects I have in the works that I want to promote is I just cut a new album. I know it's a different area to go to. It's called Tom Proctor's and the A-Listers.
Okay.
It's a working man tour, and it's a country music album that's dedicated to the working man.
All right.
And it is doing really awesome. The one
Awesome.
song called In Hollywood won KW Song of the Year
Nice.
and is now 47 on the charts globally. So I would love to promote Tom Proctor and the A-Listers in Hollywood. It's on Spotify, iTunes, everything like that,
Awesome.
and have as many people go take a look at that as possible.
Okay.
And I've got the other thing that, since we're talking to horror film fans, and I can't talk a lot about it,
Okay.
but do not miss DC's new series, Swamp Thing.
Okay. Sounds good.
I just did the pilot for Swamp Thing, and holy fuck-a-macaroni.
Is it good? That good?
Now, when I combine fuck with macaronis, you know it's a fuck-a-macaroni.
So is that where would you be able to see Swamp Thing when it comes out?
It's going to be on the new DC channel.
Okay.
But it was produced by the director of Aquaman, so
Awesome.
It's really a high effects heavy.
Okay.
It's very, very high effects.
Okay.
And also, we're finding out from networks within this next month and a half, they're considering putting together a reality show for me that's
awesome.
Fairly interesting.
Awesome. And are you the main star then of Swamp Thing as well?
No, I was just in the pilot, the opening pilot of it. This is the thing with me. I have this niche where I don't really mind it. I have small roles in a lot of big movies,
right?
But I always open and set the pace.
Right.
I opened the movie for Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one.
Right.
You know, right in the very first of that, in a very nice role that launched. I just got done doing an opening with Julianne Moore in the Gloria Steinman story, just finished up, and then Swamp Thing, where we go in and establish that there's a problem, and
awesome.
I can't say much more than that, but
that's
it's
true. Yep.
just going to be. It's not only incredibly well written, but I got to see some of the effects of the kills and
awesome.
and things, and I think this is a movie that has a crossover, not just Marvel fans, but horror fans.
Awesome.
Will love this.
Awesome. So everybody heard that. Keep an eye out for Swamp Thing and all the other projects that Tom has spoken about. Also, if you hear this podcast after this has obviously aired and everything that he was in already surpassed, you can see check out his IMDb page, and I'm sure that'll be updated when you get any other projects and roles that your fans want to keep a lookout for. In the future.
Yes, and they can keep up with me on Twitter. It's Tom Proctor Band on Twitter, and Tom Proctor Instagram.
Awesome.
And it's just Tom Proctor Facebook, and even Working Man Tour has its own Facebook.
Awesome. Sounds
page.
Good. Thank you very much, Tom, for your time, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Okay, thank you. Pleasure talking to you as well.
Thank you. Have a nice day. To hear the rest of my interview with Tom Proctor, who played the Motorist in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, you can order the Ultimate Slasher Movie Encyclopedia. To find out when the Ultimate Slasher Movie Encyclopedia is for sale, you can like my Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/smccoyauthor.